Hey there, Bears fans. Harrison Graham here, back with another episode of Chicago Bears Now. And on today's show, we're going to break down the top 2023 roster battles for the Chicago Bears heading into mandatory minicamp, which takes place this week. Should be exciting. It's mandatory, so everybody should be out there. And we're going to take a look at 5 roster battles I'm keeping a close eye on, plus some honorable mentions. So stay tuned for that. But first, give me a follow on Instagram. I was going to say on the channel. You can also subscribe. But on IG, I'm ramping up my content once again over there. Bears coverage. You can slide in the DMs where I'll answer all your questions as well. Might work in some Instagram live shows once again at some point as well. So if you want some of that, at HGramNFL, give me a follow. And if you're a new follower, DM me. I'll follow you back. How about that? At HGramNFL, I'll follow anybody back that follows me. But you got to DM to let me know. Otherwise, how am I going to know? So at HGramNFL. Okay, let's get to the first roster battle that I'm keeping a close eye on, not only during mandatory minicamp, but between now and week 1, running back. What does the pecking order look like for the Bears? Now, I think Khalil Herbert's earned the right to be the starting running back right now and see if he can be that lead guy. I think we all believe that this will be some sort of committee like it was last year with Herbert and Montgomery. Getsy and co have talked about this, though. Like, this will be a competition. It will be a heated competition. You've got Roschon Johnson. You've got D'Onta Foreman on board. Hell, even Travis Homer is probably going to make this team. He'll have a little bit of a different role, but still, you've got 3 or 4 guys in the mix that are going to compete for playing time. Now, you look at the 2 guys who have been around the NFL a little bit. Khalil Herbert last year led the NFL among running backs in yards per carry among qualified rushers at 5.7. So as a pure runner in this system, he's very, very good. Now, has to improve as a pass catcher and as a blocker. We know that. D'Onta Foreman, he had a big year for Carolina, especially after they traded Christian McCaffrey. Career year with 914 yards, 4.5 average, 5 touchdowns. He's kind of a bruiser, but he's got some burst as well. Had a 60-yard run a year ago. And then you bring in Roschon Johnson, who had a nice college career at Texas and should be very fresh because he played behind Bijan Robinson, so it's not like he was running to the ground in college, but over 4 years, 2,200 rushing yards, 420 receiving yards, 26 total touchdowns. I mean, these 3 guys are all going to have a chance to be the top dog, and they all should have a role regardless, but I am fascinated to see if one of these 3 emerges or if it is a true rotation. Should be fun to watch. Now, who is RB1 in your eyes? For me right now, it's Khalil Herbert, so I'm typing KH. I think it's Roschon Johnson, though, type RJ, or if you're rolling with D'Onta Foreman, type DEF. Get your votes in right now. Okay, let's go to wide receiver after DJ Moore. Like, DJ Moore's your number 1. We've talked about the chemistry building with Justin Fields a lot already. That much is very, very clear. Like, that doesn't even need to be discussed. He's not getting pushed by Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool as the number 1 guy. Those 2 guys not proving that they probably aren't a number 1 receiver is why you went out and got DJ Moore. So that's not in the discussion. But then you've got competitions within the competition. Does Mooney or Claypool emerge as the true number 2? Tyler Scott versus Velus Jones is another one I'm looking at as well. Also, even beyond that, Dante Pettis fighting for a roster spot. Equinemius St. Brown as well. You got 6, 7, 8 guys who are sitting there fighting not only for roles, but for just a roster spot as well. Again, Claypool versus Mooney for that number 2 spot. That's something I'm watching closely. Sounds like Mooney should be ready for training camp, so that doesn't really apply to mandatory minicamp since he's still rehabbing, but in the big picture it does. Tyler Scott, Velus Jones, they have some similar skill sets. I think Scott's a better pure route runner, and they're both explosive, so that'll be interesting. Who has a bigger role? Who impresses more? So I'm excited. I know one thing for sure. This wide receiver room is much better, in a much better place than it was a year ago, and that should bode well for your quarterback, Justin Fields. Number 3, a defensive tackle. You signed Andrew Billings, and you drafted a couple of guys. Justin Jones is back as well. These 4 defensive tackles should be the guys who get the bulk of snaps. Now, some other guys could rotate in. Travis Bell, 7th-round pick. Maybe, a guy like Jalen Holmes makes this team. We'll have to wait and see. But Andrew Billings, I've heard good things about him. He's a big boy. He should help free up those linebackers in the run game. Justin Jones was probably your best pure defensive lineman last year. I like him better as a rotation guy, so I'm hoping Dexter or Pickens can beat them out. But Dexter and Pickens as well. How quickly do the rookies step in? Can one of them start right away? Can both of them start at some point this year? So that's fascinating to me. I think early on it will be Billings and Jones as your starters there, and then we'll see. I mean, it's defensive tackle. You know they're going to rotate in and out. They can't play every snap at over 300 pounds. But should be fun. Should be fun to watch and see how the Rooks perform. Now, subscribe to the channel if you want more free Bears coverage all year round. We are the channel for you. Subscribe, turn on notifications, updates during minicamp this week, and a whole lot more. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Turn on the noti bell. That way you stay informed. Okay, number 4, linebacker number 3. Obviously, Tremaine Edmunds, obviously TJ Edwards. Those are your top 2 guys. But you've got Jack Sanborn, who I thought performed very admirably last year after the Roquan Smith trade. He was arguably, one of your best defensive players a year ago after that happened. And, tough for him, right? They go invest in Tremaine Edmunds and TJ Edwards. So not only does he have to fight for playing time now, at best he's going to be linebacker number 3. We'll see if he's able to embrace that. Noah Sewell, though, a guy who a year ago could have been a top 50 pick, didn't have the best year at Oregon this past year, slips to the 5th round, but he's got a lot of talent. He's pretty explosive, good in the run game. He's a good blitzing linebacker. They actually used him a little bit at edge last year at Oregon as well, so I'm fascinated by that. I think you look at this linebacker room, and this is one of the positions of strengths on this football team. Edmunds and Edwards were two of the top 6 highest graded edge rushers per PFF. Not edge rushers, linebackers per PFF. Sanborn played well last year. Sewell's a good piece. Dylan Cole's a great special teams player and a good backup. Like, this linebacker unit, you went from, oh crap, what does this look like post Roquan Smith, to this is a strength. So I'm excited for that. I think I'd have to give Sanborn the edge early on over Sewell because he's been here. He's earned those stripes at least a little bit in my eyes. But Noah Sewell's coming, man. Like, he's going to push Sanborn. I'm excited for this linebacker unit. I think it could be pretty damn good. Now, who is LB3 in your eyes? Type JS for Jack Sanborn or NS for Noah Sewell. Again, I'm going to go with the Sand God for now. But I think both these guys could rotate in and have a role. Okay, one more, then we'll take a quick look at some other positions as well. Cornerback, after Jalen Johnson, after Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon's got to earn it a little bit, but you don't really have another natural nickel option. So I think Johnson's your CB1, Gordon's your nickel. The question is, who's your second outside corner? And, how does the pecking order play out after that? Obviously, Gordon there, I think he'll be your nickel. But Tyreek Stevenson, second-round pick. They traded up a few spots to get him. Kendall Vildor, who's been here for 4 years. He's found a way to stick around. Does he have a chance to start again? Terrell Smith, who it sounds like they like as a 5th-round pick. He could be in the mix. Then Jalen Jones and Josh Blackwell, UDFAs from last year, who performed fairly well thanks to some injuries, got some playing time, and held up. They were, I think as backups, they're pretty solid. I don't think I'd want either of them to starting this year, but I feel good about them as backups. I think Tyreek Stevenson's the guy. I mean, they traded up a few spots in round 2. He's got the physical profile. He's confident. According to John Hoke, one of their DB coaches, he's picking up the scheme really well, and that's a good sign for a rookie. Like, a lot of rookies come in and they're athletic and obviously they're good at football, but it takes a while to learn the systems, right? Well, it sounds like Stevenson's picking it up fast, so if he's able to do that, I like his chances to be that number 2 outside guy. Okay, then a few other spots. Center, this one wasn't as much on my radar. I kind of was like, well, it sounds like Cody Whitehair is the clear favorite to start there. But then third week OTAs, Lucas Patrick got in the mix more with the 1. So keep an eye on that. Tight end number 3, I still think that's a position where the Bears could sign somebody. So we'll see if that happens. But for now, Cole Kmet, Robert Tonyan, your top 2 guys. Don't have a clear third guy. Jake Tonjes, Chase Allen, we'll see there. How about third-string quarterback? This is kind of sneaky. P.J. Walker's your backup, but Tyson Bagent you picked up as a UDFA who has intriguing arm talent, and you still have Nathan Peterman here. What if Bagent beats him out? I could see it happening. Now, it could be for a practice squad spot regardless, but I think that's something to monitor. Backup offensive line depth. Who are winning those key backup jobs? Because I think the starting O-line could actually be sneaky solid. Not great, but much improved. I don't love the backup options, though. Like, I'd be curious to see if the Bears add 1 or 2 guys there. And then kicker. This isn't super on my radar, but you did pick up a UDFA. Does Andre Schmidt out of Syracuse push Cairo Santos at all? One thing Schmidt has that Santos doesn't is much stronger leg, and that could play in Soldier Field. So something to keep an eye on as well. All right, guys, appreciate everybody who made it to the end of the video. Again, hit me up on Instagram. Hell, if you made it to the end of the video, let me know. Slide in the DMs at HGramNFL, and we'll see you guys next time here on Chicago Bears Now.